Hello and welcome to Talking Good Games match preview. West Ham United against Watford on Friday night. The relegation battle is heating up. But will the game be hot or cold? That's what we're here to discuss. But before we get onto that, Gonzo, can I have your thoughts on our opponents, Watford, please?
Yeah, I would, under normal circumstances, I would say they're a well-run club. And they've done fantastically well over the lockdown. What the stuff that they were doing for charity, the local community, opening it up for nurses, to, hospital staff to stay there, allowing them to use their kitchens to get meals out. It was actually exactly the very essence of a community club. Watford. The only reason I'm reticent to say they're well run is because they're down in the situation that they're in. But they're a good club, and they've got an interesting model because it's a father and son. And they basically between them own Udinese, Granada, and Watford. And there's been quite a policy over the years of sort of swapping players between them. It might be Vidra, possibly Vidra had played for all three or something. There's 3 or 4 players that have been at each club, so that's interesting. Obviously, you can't because of compromised interest, you can't do that domestically and have 2 clubs in the same country, but you can do it in different countries. They had a really good model of getting younger players in and then selling them on and making profits on them. Chop and change their managers a lot, Geo. But it's, to be fair, it's a system that's worked for them, and they've stayed up in the Premier League for a little while now. They've had runs in cups and things like that. So all in all, a bit of a success story.
A brave club, I think, especially sacking your manager, and then they brought in Chico, and then obviously they didn't fancy him pretty quickly, but they sacked him as well. They were quite ruthless, yes. But it's a brave thing to do. I think most clubs would have just stuck with him and end up in bigger trouble further down the line. So what they've done, I think, deserves to be applauded. And I liked it a couple of years ago when they sacked, I can't remember his name now, but they were just bored, weren't they? The fans were just bored, and they sacked him, although he'd done quite well and got someone else in. I thought, good on you. We've finally got a club now who, they're a mid-sized club like West Ham. They're in similar size, and they thought, you know what, we want more than this. We want to go for the trophies, we want to move up the league and stuff. And I thought it was ambitious. It's not worked out. Their gamble hasn't paid off. I think they've gone backwards quite a lot over the last couple of seasons. And here we are. They're on the brink of potential relegation. This is a massive game. It's a bigger game for them than us, I think, to an extent. But they're a decent club. Like you said, they're a well-run club, but they're just not really they're not as good as I thought they'd be. They've got a similar structure off the pitch to what maybe Leicester or Wolves have, but theirs is paying off, but Watford's isn't. So there's something going wrong, and I think they need to have a look at themselves a little bit as to why. They've not been shy in the transfer market while they've not been throwing it around, but they've not really had much bang for their buck, if you like, and there's 1 or 2 players that are culpable for that. But the big question is, Gonzo, will they survive?
Yes, I think they will. I think they will survive. This is a bigger game for. Did you just say it's a bigger game for Watford than for us? I thought I'd heard it somewhere before. I just thought that up. I thought that's a
I'll let you have that one for free. We'll pretend I didn't say it.
Thank you. Yeah, well, it's a bigger game for what.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Thank you. Thanks, mate. They've got to win. We don't necessarily have to. They've got some tougher games. It depends. I think they've got Arsenal, actually, haven't they? It depends whether you consider Arsenal a tougher game. They're Jekyll and Hyde, really, Arsenal, aren't they? But I think, the point and the goal difference is enough that actually if we came out with a draw after this, we'd be sitting prettier than Watford because it would still be status quo. I think because of that, I know you haven't asked that question yet. I think they're gonna come out all guns blazing, really very much trying to attack us, but with almost a fear to keep it tight at the back. But because they've got I just think it's so easy when you're in our position to think squeaky bum time. Ours and Watford's, but they'd swap. Villa and Bournemouth would swap positions with us in a heartbeat. They have to be the favourites to go down, Villa and Bournemouth at the moment. So, yeah, I think Watford will. Who's their other game?
I think it's Man City.
Well, I've just seen them play tonight. They were crap. So they might win that. You never know. I think they'll stay up. I think
they might go down. I think Villa might catch them because I think I said this to you on the phone yesterday. I think Villa are rooting for West Ham on Friday night because I think Villa need us to win. So Watford get 0 points, and then on the last day we are safe. So Villa play a team that's season's finished, and Watford have still got something to play for. And I think Villa will be playing us, and Watford will be playing Arsenal. And I think it might be a case of winner stays up kind of thing. I think this is a huge game for Watford. I think a draw would be enough for them long term, but it'll just be a bit nervous before they get there. But I just think with our goal difference and stuff, I think if anyone gets relegated, I think it'll be Watford. I do think they're going to have a scare. I'm saying this because I think Villa will get at least something out of the game against Everton tomorrow night before our one, and that'll change the whole attitude and stuff. I mean, it must be very difficult for Pearson to prepare for this match because you prepare for it as if you need to win. But if Villa lose tomorrow night, suddenly you're thinking, hang on a minute, I don't really need to win anymore. A point is enough now. So it must be difficult for both managers, really, to sort of really put down your final tactics and stuff when you don't know the outcome of the teams below you. But next season, let's hypothetically Watford survive. Next season, is it just a case of staying up once more, or what can they inspire to?
Nothing, really. Sorry. Yeah, I don't mean them. I don't. Sorry if you're Watford and you're watching. I know we have to. At least one Watford fan watches VTS. Probably won't anymore.
Unsubscribed.
We've lost a subscriber. I mean us as well. I don't just mean them. What can we do? What can any of us do anymore? We're all going to be about 30 million quid down. There's a number of clubs that can ride that out. They're the big boys. They ain't us. They ain't Watford's. Struggle and escape. Struggle and escape. That's it. That's the reality of the football as it is now. They're never going to. We won't see another Leicester in our lifetime. I doubt very, very much. It's all so sewn up. The money's big at the top. The Champions League money's so big. And now, I mean, unfortunately we had got to a point where the Premier League had got ultra competitive because the Premier League money was so good. But if every club's going to lose 30 million but the others are not going to feel the pinch, then it's going to be tough. What can they aspire to? I'm not saying they can't get mid-table or anything like that, but if anyone thinks they're going to go and get European football, they're more us, then you're going to be sorely mistaken. Unless
I think mid-table in our cup runs, and I put us in the same bracket. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's about keeping your head above water. The new rule today about 5 subs next season, it's not going to help Watford. It's not going to help West Ham. It just pushes us further down towards the bottom more than the top, if anything. The big boys are going to be flexing their muscles, so to speak, and it's going to take a little bit of magic in the transfer market from clubs like Watford and West Ham in order to progress. You're going to have to pull off a couple of sneaky signings that don't cost much, but they deliver on the pitch big time. Watford should be better prepared than we are, but like I said, I'm not that, going by what I've seen from their signings this season, I'm not that confident. Anyway, with all that in mind, last question, Watford, the players you admire, please.
Is it Foster in goal? Yeah, he's good. I worry about Sarr. If he's going to play right, I don't worry about Sarr. I worry about Cresswell. Actually, I think Sarr's going to be perfectly fine. I think he worries me down there. He could really cause some bother. Then my favourite one, Deulofeu, I've wanted at West Ham, as you know, for some time now. He's not available apparently. That's only a good thing. And I know Danny Welbeck scored an overhead goal the other day. But if that's the front three of Sarr, Deeney and Welbeck, at least one part of the three is easy to defend against. So Deeney is such a good leader. I really like him. I don't know what happened to Pereira. I really liked him. Will Hughes can be good. But again, I think you've got to call into question. We were just speaking about this before we went on air. About when we were talking about Bournemouth, not Watford. You've got to call into question some of these players and looking at the positions that they're in. They shouldn't have let their club get into this. And for that reason, I know Decore's position has been changed and he's played better maybe further forward. But he's an enigma, really. And if their players were excellent, they shouldn't be in that position. I include us as well, by the way. From people from the outside might look at Felipe Anderson and think, oh, he looks dangerous. He's a bit tricky. But, maybe you talk to West Ham fans and you get a slightly different story on it. And I just wonder how many players at Watford, the Watford fans will say, "Hold on, this guy's let us down this season." It'd be interesting to know.
I'm not a big fan of Watford's players individually. I've never, even last season, I looked at the squad and thought there's only one or two I really like. The rest of them, I think, are average Premier League players, and I think that's why they're down there. I think this is almost like a true position for Watford's players on the pitch. In order to elevate that, you need a top class manager, a bit like what Burnley have got. Burnley players are similar ability to Watford. It's just that they've got a better manager who can utilise his players better, and the manager adds points to the squad, whereas Pearson, I don't think he's doing that. I've been very disappointed by Watford post lockdown. I think they've been really poor. They don't look like a side scrapping for victory, for survival. It took a Danny Welbeck. When you're relying on a wonder goal to get you 3 points in a relegation battle, it's not a good thing. Enjoy the overhead kick and enjoy the moment, but you cannot rely on Danny Welbeck pulling off an overhead kick in the next game.
Well, you can if you're willing to wait for another 2 years.
But I mean, that's how long you've got to wait for him to play another game. But the players, the Sarr is the most frustrating player. If I was a Watford fan, I'd be pulling my hair out watching him. He's so fast. He's really good at going past his man. But then he just boots it into the box. He doesn't get his head up whatsoever. His crossing's atrocious. He just kicks it and hopes that someone's going to be in there. And he's got Deeney in there, one of the best headers in the ball. And he keeps hitting it in low. And I'm thinking, Deeney's not fast. He's not going to get to the front post quicker than the defender. So why are you just booting it? But he plays the law of averages, Sarr. I put in 20, 5 of them might hit my man, and hopefully one of them can hit the back of the net. He will cause Creswell problems, but I think he also causes his own fan problems as well. I think Craig Dawson's a really good centre-back. I'd like him at West Ham. He's someone I do really like. But I think it's a team of just okay players. Capoue is okay. Decore is okay. Messina is okay. Ben Foster, he's a decent keeper. Biggest time-wasting goalkeeper in the Premier League, and I quite admire it. I quite admire dark football. I do like that. But if we go down, I can assure you Ben Foster's going to take 10 minutes to take a goal kick. But anyway, enough about Watford. Time to talk about West Ham. Now a change of winning team, they say, Gonzo. Is that true in this case? The 11 that started against Norwich, would you make any changes to that starting 11? I think there's 2 players that stand out for me.
Yeah, I'm still not. I am far. Look, we can't drop Ryan Fredericks. I don't think after he got an assist. No, we can't drop Ryan Fredericks after he got an assist. The Fornals thing is still bothering me. I must be honest. I don't. I also worry about, can Mark Noble replicate that excellent performance in that strange sort of position that he took up? Do they need to at some point stick 3 people on the left to stop the player we've just been talking about? Possibly not. I'd still worry about Fornals on that left, mate. I must be honest about that. I think, has Antonio not done an impression of Ronaldo in the last game, I think I would still be tempted to put Antonio on the left, which is what I said before. It was me that said before the last game, take him away from striker, put him on the left. I said, oh yes, stick Sebastian Haller up front, he'll get some goals. That's what I said last one. So I know nothing, but the left still bothers me. But my inclination is to keep it. Is to pretty much keep it the same.
The Fornals one's a funny thing for me as well. I think I'd keep him in just due to lack of options. Really, there's no one else I'd really. I can deliberate putting Lanzini out there, but then I keep thinking, nah, I think I'll just stick with Fornals actually. I think Firmino, Watford's right back, he'll be alright for Fornals. I don't think he's going to cause him too much bother. I think the 2 that stand out for me, one's Fredericks. I don't think he had a good game against Norwich. I thought he was our weakest player by far. He stuck out like a sore thumb, and I think his assist is it's overshadowing his bad performance. I think we're all ignoring how bad he was because he done that assist. I would change him for Ben Johnson. I would. I don't think he's good enough. He wasn't good enough against Norwich, and so I would be changing that. And Noble's the only funny one as well, for the reason you said, but because the reality is we played that Norwich side were just horrible. They were just rank awful. It was easy for us to play against. It was easy for players to look good against them. And I'm trying to not get disillusioned because I think we've been playing well after the Spurs game. But to be fair, I thought the Spurs game did okay. Bar the Wolves one, I think we played quite well. But that Noble is a bit of a worry for me because I think he did play well, but he came up against the perfect opposition. And a better midfielder, a good midfield, would have exposed that against us, having Mark Noble as a second striker. We went up against Leicester or Wolves. I would have expected Moutinho and Neves to rip our midfield apart with Mark Noble playing as a second striker. Thankfully, Norwich are crap, and they weren't able to do it. The question is Watford good enough to do it? And I'm in two minds. They should be. Capuy and Will Hughes, Decore, they're not bad players, but the way I've seen them playing recently, I'm not that bothered. I'd be tempted to leave him in, but at the same time, I would not blame David Moyes if he changed that. I too would leave Antonio. I would have rested him against Norwich, so I too know nothing Gonzo. So people are now questioning why they're watching the preview, but here you go, you get it. Don't know what we're talking.
I'm just repeating what you say. We both admitted we got things wrong, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, unlike our manager, to be fair, our manager could take a leave a little bit. Yeah, I got that one wrong. But anyway, if Villa lose tomorrow, hypothetically, is a point enough on Friday for you?
Yeah. But it's I can't wait. I cannot wait. I am really looking forward to this. It's a proper game. I don't know, maybe a playoff final or something. It's like that for me. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. I cannot wait for this game. It's Friday. I've got to work. Unfortunately, which I'm not doing much of at the moment, but I'm going to try and get back nice and early. And is it 8? It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, maybe I don't need to get back nice early, but it's brilliant. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be such a good game. Will it play out as a draw? I'm not so sure. I think we're going to go for it. We've been creating lots of chances, attacking loads. And I went and had a look, and I think they had 15 shots at goal against Newcastle. So obviously Watford are having an attack as well. Nigel Pearson's been here before. He's been here with Leicester. The Great Escape and all the rest of it. Now he's not had the same sort of impact. I think maybe the lockdown took a bit of the wind out of their sails, but not just them. It's done that for a lot of clubs. I think. But is a draw enough? Yes, it is. But I'm seeing some humdinger end-to-end match classic going on. Villa have got. I don't want them to. Look, I want Villa to lose. I want everyone to lose and us to win and all the rest of it. But I mean, if Villa win, and then it really stokes up this game. Yeah. It could really be quite an event.
Yeah, that's what concerns me, because I don't think Villa will lose against Everton tomorrow. I think Villa will get at least a draw. If Villa draw, I think a draw for us against Watford is all right. I think that's fine. But if Villa win tomorrow against Everton, then all of a sudden both of these teams and managers are going to get a bit jittery and almost nervous. I think you will see a lot of nerves in this game from both sides. I think there's going to be mistakes in players. I know you spoke about how many shots I had against Newcastle, but there's a bit of a false stat in there, because I think 4 or 5 of those shots was Craig Dawson on his own, the centre back. But that's their biggest threat. If we keep Craig Dawson quiet from set pieces, I think we'll be alright. But we have to double up on him from set pieces, because the most dangerous Watford have looked post lockdown is every time they get a free kick, not so much corners, mainly free kicks, they aim for Craig Dawson every single time. We need whoever our best defensive header is. I don't know. I would guess it's Declan Rice. That's who I would say. If you ask me, him or Bona, those two would be the two I'd pick out. And I'd get someone else on there as well, whether it's Fredericks or Noble. Not one of your other big headers. Keep them for the other players. But we have to stop Craig Dawson. Stop him, and you stop a lot of Watford attacking threat from set pieces. He worries me quite a lot. I do think, though, I know you're excited. I'm more nervous for the Villa game than the West Ham game. If that makes sense.
I can understand that.
I think it's maybe just because it's first, but it does change the tone completely of how I'm going to feel about the West Ham game. I think it's going to change the tone of how each manager sets up as well. This Villa result, this Villa game tomorrow night is massive, huge for us. I would argue the Villa game's bigger for West Ham than our own game against Watford is, arguably, in some sort of weird way. Because if we win, Villa lose and we win, we go. I think we're safe. I think Bournemouth can't catch us, well they can, but there's a goal difference thing there. And then don't think Villa can catch us either. I think we're pretty much safe if that 6-point thing happens. But with all that in mind, Gonzo, are you confident?
Yeah,
Oh, don't do
very,
this.
very
I get
confident.
nervous when you say this.
Well, I said that before Norwich.
I know.
Before Burnley, I didn't say it. You know what I mean? I'm like the old Lucky Charm, you know? Got my lucky thong on
Yeah,
and
but
all
it still
that.
makes me nervous.
I've been wearing it since the Norwich game.
But why are you so confident?
I just think we're beaten.
Well, clearly.
Can I
I'm really confident we might lose. No, but
Yeah. Have I told you about the lucky thong? No,
I know it's because
think
it's a bigger
that
game for Watford than West Ham, right?
I was going to say that. I was on
No one's come up with that yet. That's a good one. That.
Yeah, I know. I might patent that phrase actually. They have to win it. All right, a draw's all right for us. They really do. You've got to look at it how the other clubs are looking at it, and at the moment they're looking at West Ham thinking we'd like to be in their position. I think they know that, so Pearson's going to try and win it. If he tries to win it, he's going to start trying to attack more. If he attacks more, only one or two things are going to happen. Either the game will be too stretched for them, or they will move up as a unit. If they move up as a unit, then they're going to leave space in behind. If they leave space in behind, they're in a massive amount of trouble because we will try and play Antonio in behind, and at the very least we'll start getting corners. And whilst Dawson might well be decent in the air, we've got lots of players that are decent in the air. You do not want to concede corners against us at the moment, that is for sure. I think Bowen can run in behind. I think what I thought was going to be a hindrance, Geo, which was playing lots of players in consecutive games because of the close proximity of the games, because of the lockdown, I think has actually really helped West Ham. I think more or less we've changed one or two here and there, but more or less we have a settled team. And the players are getting used to playing with each other as well. I think Bowen, there's no doubt Bowen and Souček are just settled now. They're parts of the team. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think Watford go into this more nervous than we do.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think. Sorry, just one more thing. I think the reason Bournemouth played well tonight is it was so bad for them that the shackles were off. They almost couldn't be nervous. They had to win it. Watford aren't. They're also almost in this no man's land of, I think there's less pressure.
Yeah, I'm actually quite confident as well, despite me trying to wind you up.
But
the reason I'm confident is our set pieces. I just think every time we get a free kick or a corner, I'm sitting there expecting us to have a shot off the back of it. And I've not felt like that in a long, long time, including when Snodgrass was taking corners, because we didn't really have the sort of set up. It was almost like a headless chicken running into the box kind of thing. We didn't really have sort of a plan. The ball was half decent, but that was it. Now we have Souček back post, Declan Rice front post, Diop and Ogbonna and Antonio in the middle of the three of them. I mean, it's a very dangerous thing. But the other good thing is, Watford concede a lot of free kicks. Will Hughes, he just kicks people's ankles all the time. Kapui is good at fouling people. We will pick up a lot of free kicks 30 yards out of the box for Watford in wide areas, because that's good places to concede a free kick usually, but for us that is a good place to get one. I'd actually rather us, as mad as it sounds, I'd rather us get us a free kick out wide that we've got to cross it than get one 25 yards out that someone's going to have a shot at, because we're not very good at that one. Who would take it? Creswell, I guess? Yeah, not anymore. But I'd rather see us cross it and try and head it than someone get a direct shot from a free kick. And that's what makes me good. I just don't think Watford are that good. I just look at their team and I think Welbeck's, he's not good. He's not a good player. Danny's not as good as he used to be. Sarr's got a lot of pace and tricks, but his final ball's just rubbish. Decore's been disappointing for me, although he can be an absolute monster on the pitch. But I'm feeling good, Gonzo. I'm feeling confident. My worry is we play for a draw. I actually think Villa winning might help us, because it might force us to go for the win as well. Whereas if Villa lose, we might think, oh well, a point's alright here, and I think that might backfire. It might blow up in our faces completely. So it'll be interesting to see how we approach the game, and I think that massively depends on the Villa game tomorrow night. So before I get Gonzo's prediction and give you mine, I think you can guess what we're going to go for here. I don't know what Gonzo's going to go for. I'm just assuming. He seems quite confident, doesn't he? But you can join us at just before, what time's kick-off? 8 o'clock, 8:15? What is it? 8?
I don't know. What are you asking me for? I don't know about anything about West Ham.
I think it's 8 o'clock. Right, so 5 minutes, an hour and 5 minutes before kickoff, we will be live tomorrow night, not tomorrow night, Friday night, with the team news. We'll be having a look at, see what they're going to do, and we'll have a little discussion about the Villa game, see how that plays into us. Then we've got a watch along, and then myself and Gonzo have got a review straight after full time. So Gonzo, can I get your final words, if you have any, please? Apart from, I think this game's more important for Watford than West Ham, and your score prediction.
Okay, yeah, well, this game is less important for West Ham than it is for Watford. If you like that, let's see. See what's what I did. Sneaky. I think Moyes was more heavily ridiculed for saying that he has reminded, before the Norwich game, he reminded the defenders not to concede any goals. Well, he reminded them, and they didn't concede any goals. So all he's got to do is remind the team to not concede any and to score some goals in this one. And we're going to be home and hosed. I think one of them may come true. I think the other one won't. But I'm going to go for 3-1 West Ham.
I'm going 3-1 West Ham. We never say the same score. We're going to have to have a bet on it now, aren't we? We're going to have to have a cheeky bet on 3-1. So. Pearson does subs, but he's not very good at them. I've never seen Watford do a sub off the top of my head that comes on the pitch and then they go win the game off the back of said sub. Usually they're quite poor, actually. Usually I see him bringing on Tom Cleverley and I think, what's that going to do, really? And he brings off Decore or whatever, and I think, you've just made it worse, to be honest with you. So, in such a game, subs can be a huge part. I just hope Moyes does them. I've got no faith in that. But I also I've got very little faith in Pearson doing a game-winning substitution either, and that helps me. So I'm going to go 3-1. I think, I don't know, I just got a feeling that the confidence from Norwich, while I don't think Norwich were good and it was an easy game for us, I do think our players will be confident. I think Antonio's going to be buzzing, and I think we're going to see that on Friday night, actually. So, anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Let us know in the comments below what you would like to see the starting lineup. Give us your score predictions. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here, and you can join myself and Gonzo 1 hour and 5 minutes before kick-off on Friday. Whatever time that is, we're not very sure. It's either 5 to 7 or 10 past 7. It's one of the two. Pop along. Come back at 5 to 7 and we might be live, or you might have to wait 15 minutes. It's one of the two, that's for sure. But Gonzo, I shall see you on Friday.
It's a slick operation, this. See you later.